Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Crypto Analyst channel. My name is Brendan, and I hope all of you guys are having a great day no matter where you are from. And welcome back to another video. Now, the crypto market is pretty red across the board today. We're seeing a decline of around 7 to 10%, give or take just a little bit there, depending on the cryptocurrency. But the highlight of the day here is actually Bitcoin, as it's only down about 3.5%. While most of the altcoins are down on average around 8 or 9%, and there's certainly outliers that are down 3 or 4 times what Bitcoin is currently down, like Solana and Ethereum Classic, and a few others as well, but there's very few cryptos in the top 100 here that are actually sitting in the green. But what I don't think people understand is that it's not just crypto getting hit here. It's just about everything, including the stock market, and one could argue that the stock market and things like NASDAQ and tech stocks are getting hit significantly harder than cryptos are getting hit right now. Most of these tech stocks are still down around 40 to 50% from their all-time highs, where things like Bitcoin and Ethereum are only down around 30 to 40. So they're up about 10%, a lot of these other tech stocks. But another thing here is that there's still so much positive news coming out for crypto absolutely across the board. And so today we have about 8 different articles that we're going to be going through and showing that the fundamentals of crypto have not changed at all. And the foundation for which crypto is being laid right now is still exceedingly strong. It's growing at an exponential rate. It's stronger than it's ever been. There's billionaires in countries talking about their plans to adopt cryptocurrency and the strong future that it has. There are hundreds of millions of dollars in capital being raised here still. And today we're going to be going through all of this and just explaining why the next cryptocurrency bear market, I just don't see it being an extended thing. I know people are saying that we're still in a bear market and maybe we have reversed, but I do not see an extended bear market for cryptocurrency, and I'm going to explain why in this video over here. So first things first, let's start going through, I guess, just exactly what's happening over here, because the crypto exchange Binance US, and this is not Binance as we know it, the traditional Binance. This is specifically only the US version of Binance, coming in at a $4.5 billion valuation after its first round of funding. Think about that. That's billion with a B. They had just had their first round of funding, and this is just the US side of their exchange. This is excluding pretty much every other country in the world. Now, I believe other countries can use the US version, but there's really no reason to if they could use the entire version of Binance, the full version. But the US version just came in at a $4.5 billion pre-money evaluation after their first round of funding, and this is giant. This really does show you just how big cryptocurrency is getting. And whether it is venture capitalists or funding or just people that want to invest in cryptocurrencies, there is no shortage of people that are interested in continuing to fund the expansion of cryptocurrency at these levels. There's no shortage at all. Now, on top of this, the Indonesian government has actually set the crypto tax in their country to 0.1% starting next month in May. This is becoming an increasingly more popular thing as countries want to be more crypto friendly. They see that there is a large, strong future in cryptocurrency, and they want to attract companies that believe that as well, because they believe that they are going to be the biggest players in the future, but also individuals, wealthy individuals who are like-minded in this. And so what they're trying to do here is be the first movers in the space. They see that there is value in here. And so while they're saying that the first world countries might have too many regulations or too many standards or too many laws around this that are pushing these wealthy individuals and wealthy corporations out, this is their way of incentivizing these people and these different companies and projects to go and start in these different countries that are offering either tax-free or insanely low tax rates on cryptocurrencies. And this is a pretty good incentive. I mean, most of us are probably paying easily 20, 30, 40% in crypto taxes every year. Some people even up to nearly 50%. And if you could save almost all of that and only be taxed on 0.1% of it, you would have a significantly larger amount of money at the end of the day, especially the people who are making serious money through cryptocurrency. Now, on top of this, we still have Billionaires. like Mark Cuban saying that cryptocurrency is very bullish. There is an upcoming Ethereum merge, or essentially Ethereum 2.0, which is supposed to come out in June or maybe even July of this year. At least that's when it's expected, right? It's kind of, I don't want to call it a meme, but it is kind of a waiting game, because that's when we are expecting it. That may not be when it actually releases, just depending on whether or not it is ready to be integrated at that point. But essentially what this would do is make cryptocurrency, or make Ethereum, move from a proof of work mentality to a proof of stake mentality. The goal is to make it more eco-friendly and also allow users to have faster and cheaper transactions at the end of the day because of this, thus lowering gas fees. So billionaire Mark Cuban is saying that he is very bullish on the upcoming future of Ethereum for a number of different reasons, including the launch of Ethereum 2.0 here. Now, on top of all this, Near Protocol, another large cryptocurrency market cap, raising $350 million for the second 9-figure raise this year. I mean, this is insane. There are hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars flowing into the same project multiple times in the first quarter. That means that there are billions, and this is just one project, there are billions and billions of dollars being raised for these cryptocurrency projects as we speak, and we are just a single quarter into this year already. There is no shortage of people who see the absolute value dip that cryptocurrency is currently at, and some could argue that cryptocurrency is really just being suppressed here because of what is happening over in Europe and what is happening in the stock market and other outside factors, because the actual fundamentals of cryptocurrency right here are so strong. And even in the past week or two, cryptocurrency was moving inverse of the stock market because of just how bullish it was. It was actually moving upwards while a lot of stocks were moving downwards. So Near is just absolutely on a tear. I believe they had their first round of funding this year at around $150 million, and then their second one was at $350. So they've already raised in the first quarter alone around $500 million in funding so far. So it's just insane. And this also mentions Aurora, which is another project that I like, but they're essentially just an Ethereum Near Protocol EVM. So let's also talk about South Africa. Once again, another country in crypto, or another country that really wants to get into cryptocurrency. They're actively exploring blockchain-based payments here. And the point of this is that they did a little bit of an assessment, and they have said that this is something that really interests them. And they want to move forward. They're very interested, and they want to integrate it as part of their economy. Right now, they're just trying to figure out how exactly they want to go about this, so that everyone, both the government and the people, are as safe as possible. And this makes sense. You don't want to jump into something like this. You want to make sure that you're doing it in the best way for everyone, without screwing anyone over in a negative way. And that seems to be exactly what they're trying to plan out here. Now, back into the world impact of that cryptocurrency is having. Miami's Mayor Suarez says that he is wanting a pro-Bitcoin president of the United States, saying that he is very bullish on cryptocurrency. For those of you who are not familiar, he wants Miami to be the crypto city central of the United States. He wants the go-to events for crypto to be done in Miami. He wants all the different events for NFTs and cryptocurrencies and all that. He even wants the ability for some of his employees to be paid out in cryptocurrencies and for different businesses to accept cryptocurrencies. So he is most certainly pressing for a very pro-Bitcoin president. This is one of the mayors of one of the largest, most significant cities inside of the United States. And this shows that politicians, it doesn't matter where you are on the board, whether you're left, right, up, down, middle, sideways, doesn't matter. There are politicians on every single end of the spectrum that are extremely bullish on cryptocurrency, and they're trying to make the push to make this more mainstream. And I think that's what I like here, is that no matter where these politicians are at, they can agree for the most part that a lot of these ones can come to a happy agreement about Bitcoin and about different altcoins. And that's a good thing to see. It's good to see when there's unity on something like this. Now, payment giant Checkout.com has also acknowledged the fact that crypto is on its way to becoming mainstream. For those of you who don't know, they are quite large in the, I guess, self-said the checkout space, but they have over 30,000 different customers across 3,000 different merchants in 11 different countries, including the names of the US, the United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, and a number of other countries on top of all of that. They basically say that they see the rise in demand of cryptocurrency payments and transactions, and it's a growing space. And they can no longer ignore this. They are seeing the extreme demand for this through their platform. And so this is quite the unique thing. We're even seeing large-scale e-commerce payment providers, specifically for businesses, coming out and saying that we see that the general public wants this to be integrated and that there's a need for this to be integrated. Thus, we're going to look into potentially integrating this and creating an option for people to use crypto as a means of payment. Just another source of not only the general public being bullish on crypto, but large-scale companies that have a large sphere of influence across the board. And finally, Bitcoin is just the amount of money and the amount of scarcity that Bitcoin has reached right now is truly mind-blowing. I mean, people truly don't understand it, and I think we covered this just a couple of videos ago, but the amount of Bitcoin that's actually on exchanges here is a lot, and I mean a lot less than people truly believe that it is. You know, we all say that there's 19 million Bitcoins that have been mined, but that's not how many are actually in circulation. A couple million have been lost, millions more have been moved offline to cold storage wallets if they haven't been lost. And we just saw that the amount of Bitcoins that are in circulation on exchanges right now is at a 3.5-year low. And that's exactly what this article talks about. Bitcoin is becoming more scarce rapidly. And from this could very well drive price upwards. In fact, what this article goes into detail about is basically saying that every time this kind of scarcity issue happens, there is the same level of demand, but not the same level of supply of Bitcoin, thus driving prices pretty significantly upwards. So keep an eye out on for this. The amount of Bitcoin across almost every major exchange is dropping rapidly, and it has been decreasing for, I believe, the last 6 to 8 months now. And so if the demand of Bitcoin doesn't change here and the supply is rapidly going away, you can't help but think that that should rally price despite all the other market conditions. Now, even on the chart over here of Bitcoin, there is, we still have a lot of support over here. And I think that when we're looking at something like this, yes, we did have a pretty major trend line that was holding until the stock market crashed, but I really don't see this as anything that's too big of a deal. There's more support for Bitcoin around $42,000, which is just a couple $1,000s away from where it's currently sitting at. And below this, there are plenty of other support levels, including if we want to even zoom out on the large scale, you can see that we're still very much in an uptrend. We rallied over here from the downside up to the upside, and now we're in one of these massive rising channels. And if we want to go back to support could be anywhere around like 36K, but also at resistance to the upside. I mean, there could be big potential for Bitcoin if we go back up and test resistance. I mean, like mid 75,000s in the long-term upside if we are going to get back up there this year, which I think is very possible. So keep your eyes out for Bitcoin. And again, if you want all of this information early in more detail, including my technical analysis and direct access to me, check out the link in the description down below. There's a link to Crypt Nation down there, and that's where I go over a lot of my technical analysis for both Bitcoin and a lot of the different altcoins in pretty significant detail, and go over all the different support and resistance levels that I see across the chart. So that is going to wrap up this video, everyone. I hope you did enjoy, and if you liked all this news, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, as it does help to get this video out to a lot more people, and maybe hit that share button and share this with someone that needs to see this, because there's so much positive stuff happening in cryptocurrency right now. It really does hurt me to see when any kind of asset is down 30, 40, 50%, and someone saying, hey, I think it's a really good time to finally sell it. And I just had that conversation the other day. So if you have a friend or a family member that's saying, I don't see the fundamentals in cryptocurrency, send them this video so that they can see just exactly what's happening behind the scenes. And it's not just this single payment method. It's actually being used for so much more, and so much is happening here. So again, I hope you did enjoy, and I will see you all very, very soon.